Joining us now, Norm Eisen, former special counsel and special assistant to President Obama and executive chair of the State Democracy Defenders Fund. Norm, thank you, as always, for coming to the weekend. We both get a giggle out of this funky fragrance that's coming out of
Are you getting it? Will you be buying the Trump fragrance?
But can you talk about why, even though I've been laughing through this whole thing, it is not a laughing matter when it comes to the presidency and the president?
When I was Barack Obama's ethics czar, he asked, can I refinance my small family home in Chicago? And I said, no, because you're regulating the banks and you'll have to refinance from a bank. The conflicts that come with these sums, and it's not just the overpriced cologne. I was very relieved when I walked on the set not to smell air this morning. It's not just those products. It's the crypto, where you have seen a UAE-backed, a foreign government-backed investment fund pour in hundreds of millions of dollars into the business. So these financial ventures create an avenue through which foreign governments can attempt to influence the president, and that is very dangerous for the United States.
I just want to point out, we don't know if this fragrance is a cologne or if it's an eau de toilette. Because there's a difference.
There's
Go
a
on,
very
Eugene,
different.
sorry.
It's also an appearance of conflicts that you guys were so obsessed with, right? That ethics czars and people that talk to presidents that are obsessed. So it's not that there actually something bad happened here. It's that people might think that something bad happened here. And, you know, we talked about that $10 million. I want to break that $10 million down. Trump earnings from Trump Bibles and other things in the calendar year of 2024. $3 million from the Save America coffee table book. Trump sneakers and fragrances, $2.5 million. 2.8 from Trump watches, Trump Bibles, which is just a regular Bible, 1.3 million, NFT licensing and royalties, 1.1 million, 45 guitar, $1 million. When you think about any other president, and I know we say this all the time here on this show, on this network, in conversation, that like no other president could have done this and survived. Politically, something like this happening. What do you think? How do you think it changes the way other presidents will behave moving forward?
Well, that will depend on how the voters respond to this, because between flushing the appearance of conflict down the toilet with this behavior and the other truly heinous actions of the administration, they're sending innocent people, migrants who've done nothing wrong, to dark sites. The American people don't like that. There's, according to the New York Times, about 200 times the federal courts have stopped illegal behavior by this administration. This new big, ugly bill that is so unpopular. I think Donald Trump is going to face a reckoning on the part of the voters, and this aroma, it's not fragrant, it's a stench of corruption. That's what they should call it's gold-plated corruption with the foreign government monies coming in. That's constitutionally forbidden. These large investments by foreign governments that personally benefit a president, that's the only conflicts rule. The founders and framers of our country, we're celebrating American independence this weekend. The only conflicts rule that they felt so strongly about, no foreign money or swag, they called it emoluments.
Emoluments.
They felt so strongly about it, they put it in the Constitution. So I don't think the American people are going to tolerate it. I think you're going to see a visceral backlash in these by-elections, 2025, New Jersey, Virginia, and then in 2026.
Well, shouldn't this visceral reaction not have to wait until the by-elections? Shouldn't the visceral reaction be coming from that building that you can't see through the window, from the Capitol, from the people's elected representatives, from the co-equal branch of government, saying to the corrupt executive, what you are doing is in violation of the Constitution. We are going to investigate you. We are going to run this down and see where all this is coming from and hold you accountable. Why isn't that happening, Norm? Why?
Because the corruption has rolled from the White House, it has rolled down Pennsylvania Avenue and invaded the other branches of government. Article 1, Congress, excuse me, the House Freedom Caucus, aren't they about balanced budgets? They just voted after great kvetching. They just voted for a $3 trillion budget buster that takes money from average folks' health care and food aid, takes jobs to give tax breaks to millionaires and billionaires. And then the third branch, Article 3, the MAGA majority on the Roberts Court, they just issued a completely illogical and, in my view, illegal decision that you can send people to foreign countries, migrants to foreign countries.
And they have.
Third-party countries.
Where they can be tortured, that they didn't even come from. Is that not corruption? So this corruption is going through the MAGA majorities, all three branches of government. It's revolting.
And so given that, you said many times that the people can show their visceral reaction in by-elections and then the presidential election. Do you think we'll actually have an election for the people to exercise their revulsion?
Yes.
If they have it.
Yes, because the pushback, the corrupt assault on democracy from Trump and his MAGA enablers in Congress and the Supreme Court has been large. But the pushback has been large. At Democracy Defenders Fund, we have about 100 legal matters. We're in court all over the country. Civil, criminal defense, regulatory matters. Lower federal judges have been pushing back. And even when the Supreme Court rules wrongly, the lower federal courts are finding ways to comply with the court, but to keep pushing on Donald Trump's illegality. We're in court all over the country defending elections right now. Donald Trump tried to do an executive order to make it easier for his supporters to vote and harder for the rest of us. We went to court with wonderful partners. We got an injunction stopping that. So we're going to be fighting coast to coast.
And we will continue having you on to talk about that. Norm Eisen, thank you so much for coming on. Next time, bring that Trump perfume with you.
And the gold sneakers.
And the gold sneakers.